Hey there guys, gals, and non-binary pals, GM Potter here. Welcome to my channel where I review books and bookish things. I upload on Thursdays and alternating Tuesdays. And today I thought we would start a new series. So this video, the next one, and the one after that are going to be the trilogy. And that is His Dark Materials, The Golden Compass by Phillip Pullman. So let's get into it. So, like I said, this is the first book of the trilogy. This book came out in 1995. It has a 4.02 on Goodreads. This one I give a solid 5 stars. I read these books first back when I was in 6th grade, back many years ago, after 1995. But these books do have their fair share of controversy surrounding them, because, how do I put this? In essence, these books are about killing God. Just gonna lay that out there. The Catholic Church has come out in favor of having these books banned or restricted because they are about killing God. Never mind that if they read them, they would know that the person trying to kill God is the bad guy. That it's not the good guy trying to do this. It's the bad guy. But that is essentially what they're about. So the gist of the story is Lyra is thought to be an orphan, is told she's an orphan, left to run around Jordan College in Oxford like Eloise at Christmas time, and she stumbles upon a plot to kill her uncle by the headmaster of Jordan College, and she foils it, and this sets into motion a string of events that are chilling. This is a children's book. It is a young adult book. All of these books. The next book is The Subtle Knife, which I remember as being my favorite when I was in 6th grade. And then The Amber Spyglass, which I don't remember very well at all. So it'll be fun rereading it. These books are brutal and violent without being gory. They are violent in a way that is palatable for children. They are violent in the way that the old Brothers Grimm stories are violent and brutal and brutish and all of these things. And just Grimm deals with the concept that there is a fate worse than death out there. That there is something worse than death. In Lyra's world, everybody has what they call a demon. D-A-E, that combined letter, M-O-N, demon. And it is the manifestation of a soul. And until you reach puberty, it changes forms, and it's an animal shape. You could call it a spirit animal, you could call it a soul, you could call it a demon, you can call it what you like, but that's what it is. Your life essence, the manifestation of that, of your intuition and your thoughts and your emotions and how you really feel on the inside that you try to keep under wraps, is manifested as this animal. And before you hit puberty, it changes form, and sometimes Lyra's is an ermine, sometimes it's a mouse, sometimes it's a moth, sometimes it's a firefly. Like, it changes forms, and sometimes it's a wildcat, or like all sorts of things. And when you hit puberty, it stays one shape forever, and that's what you have. And typically, if you're a male, you have a female. If you're female, you have a male, but there are some exceptions. And you are, in essence, tethered to your demon, that you can't go very far away from them because it hurts. You're literally ripping your soul apart. Witches are the exception. Witches can send their demons miles and miles away, but witches are thought to be very special. The reason they're trying to kill her uncle is because of what they call dust. In our universe, which is explored in The Subtle Knife, they're called elementary particles. That they are quantum particles. Essentially, it gets into physics and theoretical physics at that, in a way that feels natural to storytelling for children. Like these are children's books, and they're dealing with theoretical physics and quantum mechanics in a way that children can grasp these large, grand concepts that even adults can't. Like, it's masterful writing. I strongly recommend these books. But the bad guys are essentially trying to separate the soul from the person, separate the demon from the person. And they've found a way to cut the tether that connects them. And when that happens, there's a phenomenal amount of energy that's released. Well, in searching for dust, in searching for these elementary particles, her uncle discovers another world that he can kind of see into it, but not very well, not enough to actually transport to the other world. And he's trying to get in touch with where dust comes from, that these, and their creator, and all of these things. And he realizes that when you sever the demon from the child, that when you take the soul away from the child, sometimes the child dies and the demon survives, and it's awful. It's a fate worse than death. That there's this extraordinary amount of energy that's released, and he needs an extraordinary amount of energy to cross into this other world, to find the source of dust. The realization that comes in that chapter, like, this is a light spoilers. I'd read these books before. Like, I read these books when I was a child, right? I was listening to these books at work, because I'm allowed to listen to audiobooks at my day job, and I had to pause the work I was working on and pause the book, and my mouth just hung open, because when I realized what was going on, like, I came to the realization of what was going on the same time Lyra did, and I almost broke down into tears, which is the same reaction I had when I was in 6th grade when I read these the first time. That it was horrible and heartbreaking and traumatic. But to paraphrase something that my therapist told me, sometimes it's a good thing to read to consume media that is these things, because it allows you to explore unsavory emotions in a safe space. I, for one, love horror movies. I have PTSD from a traumatic incident that I don't like to get into. I have severe PTSD, and horror movies allow me to explore the feelings of helplessness and hurt and desolation and all of these awful experiences. It allows me to explore these feelings in a safe environment, because I know I'm sitting on my sofa with my cats watching a movie. Like, I know I'm safe. I know the door is locked. I know that everything is going to be fine. It allows me to experience these emotions and process on a subconscious level what happened. These books, I feel, are important for children. Books that are violent and brutish like this allows children to process emotions, because just because you're little doesn't mean you don't have these big negative emotions. And I think it's important for kids to read books that challenge them in this way. And I think it's very special that the author acknowledges that children are capable of experiencing and processing these big ideas and these big emotions, and provides a healthy environment in which to do that. I think that's amazing. Have you read his dark materials, particularly The Golden Compass? We'll get to The Subtle Knife and The Amber Spyglass next. Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.